Alright, how's it going, everybody? School for most of us has been, not very beneficial. I didn't do too well in school. I was never a straight A student, but, I was never, failing or anything. I would say that I was a pretty average student and got okay grades most of the time, but I mean, hey, personally, most of my memories from school aren't really of me doing much schoolwork. I just kind of would hang out with friends and, just be a teenager. But today I was perusing the internet looking for a brand new video topic when I found a video of a student who was apparently suspended for recording their teacher who was actually bullying a student. Just that title alone in the original video was really eye-catching to me, so, hey, maybe you guys will end up enjoying this video. Let's find out what happened to this kid who got suspended, boys.
You acting like the smallest one. I wonder what your mom looks like.
First off, goddamn, dude, barely even 7 seconds into the video and we already have flames going everywhere. That wasn't even towards me and I'm upset, bro. That hurt my feelings. No, but on a real note, how does this lady even have a job, bro? She's literally bullying a 10-year-old.
In 5th grade, you acting like the smallest one.
You're the biggest one inside of the entire damn classroom, bro. What are you talking about? People like this honestly make me kind of sick, dude. The fact that you could be a fully grown adult teacher making fun of a 5th grader. I don't even care what the 5th grader did, bro. It's just a kid. You would really think that inside of her sentence when she mentioned the fact that he's a 5th grader, she would have had a realization that, hey, wow, I'm stupid. Well, Miss Teacher Lady, you just earned a medal for roasting a 5th grader. You may as well just become a commentary YouTuber at this point.
Only on 5, a St. Lucie County student says she was suspended this week for trying to defend a classmate.
The 11-year-old says she took a recording of her teacher allegedly bullying another student.
News Channel 5's Megan McRoberts has more on why that student at Academy is now being punished.
Imagine being courageous enough at that young of an age to stick up for a fellow classmate when they're being bullied by the teacher. And you doing this gets you into actual trouble and gets you suspended from school. Like, why didn't you suspend the teacher, bro? Terminate her goddamn license, fire her. Some people are really inside of the wrong profession in life, dude. How are you gonna be working with children and try to insult them? Ha, 5th grader, you're a virgin, XD.
Megan?
The silence strikes fear into my soul, dude.
Well, Kelly, it seems anymore most students do bring a cell phone with them to school and they keep them with them while they're in the classroom. One student says she used her cell phone to record audio of what she says depicted her teacher bullying another student.
Okay, this probably isn't the time, but goddamn, that is so cringy. It's out of the middle of the serious ass news video where we're talking about a kid who got suspended for defending a kid who was getting bullied by the teacher. This lady decides to just switch over to her goddamn handy dandy iPod Touch 4G. That was so unnecessary that it actually hurt.
She thought she was doing the right thing, but she says the school said her video was illegal.
Goddamn, stop using the honestly, if recording a teacher is illegal, then I don't know how bullying a student isn't illegal. Like, yeah, destroying a 5th grader's self-esteem, made fun of them inside of the entire classroom, publicly humiliated them, you already know how it goes. But I mean, hey, I got recorded, not fair. I will be pressing charges, 5th grader. You're screwed, dude.
11-year-old Brianna has good grades and works hard at Academy and but a video on her phone got her suspended for 5 days.
I keep pausing and I'm sorry, but I have to nitpick a lot of things here. Firstly, why does the news dox everybody like this, dude? Let the little girl have her personal information. I'm gonna have to bleep all that stuff out, dude. This is the girl's full name. This is her address. This is her goddamn home phone. Here's her school. Like, that's not safe, dude. It's not 1974. Crime rates are really, really high. This is a random news video online. I don't live anywhere near these people, but they just gave out all of the details, dude. I could never be on the news, dude. They really just say everything. And also, once again, about the suspension, dude, 5 entire days? 5 days for trying to stick up for a fellow student. Like, what happened to the teacher? Okay, is she just allowed to do this? Is this just how the school system goes? Imagine sending your young kids to school, to the 5th grade, and they end up getting insulted by the teacher. And the worst mature one inside of the classroom is an 11-year-old girl who tried to stop this from happening. It's a real sad world that we live in, dude.
I thought I did the right thing.
Brianna says one of her science teachers was being mean to a student, so she took out her cell phone and started recording what she says were threats by her teacher to a classmate.
Don't let the science fool you. I will drop you.
I would drop you.
And here we have it, boys. A grown woman threatening to beat the crap out of a 5th grader. He's a 5th grader, dude. Why do you have to threaten him like that? Like, how fragile are you for you to be able to get this angry at a 5th grader? A 10 or 11-year-old? My god, damn, dude. Kids are annoying. Kids suck. I'm an annoying kid, dude. I hate myself. But if you're gonna threaten physical violence against an actual child, then you shouldn't have your job. You shouldn't be a teacher. You shouldn't be allowed to have a license to teach kids. It's honestly a good thing that this girl recorded her, so now we we know what this lady said. We know that we know that this lady is abusing her power as a teacher to threaten children and to scare them. This doesn't sound like her first time threatening a child, dude. This type of stuff seems like it goes on every single day inside of that classroom. But I mean, hey, according to the school district, this is all okay. It's all fine. Everything is completely fine.
Yeah, right. You don't know me. That's all I'm telling you. So don't give me no look.
Brianna says the teacher had been mean to students before. This time she wanted to prove it.
You think that they would actually believe a student over a teacher?
Biggest kid in 5th grade, and you acting like the smallest one.
This type of stuff is why kids are afraid to speak up for themselves, dude. This girl just wanted to show everybody the truth and show what was going on inside of her classroom and to basically just address a bunch of people's fears inside of the classroom, what these kids have to deal with, and you know what happens? She gets suspended from school, dude. This is actually the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. This is worse than when the Jonas Brothers split up, bro. It hurt my feelings. On a real note, none of this is okay. Back when I was younger in school and I was in like elementary school, I dealt with a lot of unruly teachers who would get really angry with students, you know, the class clowns and everything. But to ever threaten to fight a 5th grader, an elementary schooler, a kid that is much smaller than you when you are a literal adult, you shouldn't be allowed to be around kids if your temper is that small. Kids are assholes, dude. They are not good people. They're evil munchkins. It's not okay. But you know what else isn't okay? Threatening to beat them up. Please don't threaten to beat up children. Unless if they leave a dislike on my videos, then beat the
I wonder what your mom looks like.
You don't speak to children, let alone your students, like that.
Brianna says she turned the recording into a teacher wanting to defend her classmate, only to get called to the principal's office and suspended. The school telling her it was illegal to record a teacher without them knowing.
Yeah, okay, I don't want to be that guy here, but I don't think that it's very legal to threaten to beat up 5th graders, you know, just probably not legal. I could be wrong, I could be incorrect, but I'm almost certain that you shouldn't be able to beat kids in America. You know the No Kids Left Behind Act? There should be a No Kids Beaten Act, dude, because these kids should not be getting beaten. A recording should literally be the least of their problems, the least of their worries. And I understand, you know, it probably is illegal to film anybody without them knowing, but this girl is in the 5th grade. Pressing charges against a 5th grader, not clickbait, suing you. Yeah, I'm gonna go smash my head into a brick wall. I can't deal with this anymore.
I never had anybody tell me you cannot record.
She thought she was doing a good thing. She's 11 years old. She doesn't know the law.
And she honestly shouldn't have to know the law. She wasn't trying to break any laws. She was just trying to have justice for her fellow man, dude. No, but seriously. This goes from a discussion about how this teacher is threatening to beat up students and to a little girl breaking the law. Oh my god, throw her behind bars. What an evil student. If we're throwing kids in jail, dude, when I was 12 years old, I went to Walmart and I stole a Pokemon card. Throw away the key. No, but this girl wasn't even trying to do anything bad, dude. It's not like she like beat some kid up or anything or stole some kid's lunch money. She recorded audio of a teacher threatening a student. Dude, why is she the one who's in trouble? This entire system can just be so backwards sometimes and it hurts. Innocent people get into trouble while the actual people who make big mistakes get nothing. We haven't finished the video yet. Maybe the teacher got into a little bit of trouble here or there. Maybe the teacher was like expelled or something from the school. I don't know. Maybe they suspended her ass too, dude. You never know. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the video and I swear to God, if by the end of this video they don't mention any repercussions happening to this teacher, then I'm going to lose my mind.
Law enforcement says recording someone can be legal if there is not an expectation of privacy. In this case, Brianna's mother, Cassie Faulkner, says the school told her there is an expectation of privacy, even in a large classroom.
First off, that just sounds so sus that it hurts, dude. What are you trying to hide? What? Why do you need privacy? What's going on inside of this classroom, first off? Secondly, dude, there are like 20 kids there. 20, 30 students in there. It's not like nobody's seeing what's going on here. And it's like we all know that if this girl would have just gone straight up to those people and told them exactly what happened, they wouldn't have believed her. They wouldn't have just sat there and taken her word for it. They wouldn't have believed her because, you know, they aren't going to believe a kid over a teacher. Well, obviously, this girl's going to try to get proof of the situation so that she can show it to the teachers, you know? Because if this girl were to go to the teachers and basically explain to them, hey, you know, the teacher was trying to fight the student and insulting the student or whatever, all that jazz, they aren't going to believe some little 11-year-old girl. If this teacher were to say, oh, I didn't do this, then aren't they going to have to pull some tapes from the classroom, some, you know, some security camera or anything? Isn't that, like, illegal too? Like, damn, bro, everybody's getting in trouble nowadays. I'm afraid that I'm breaking the law by making this entire video, dude. Jesus Christ. Oh no, better watch out. This teacher's gonna beat me up.
Faulkner worries her daughter's suspension sends the wrong message to other students.
Pretty much saying to students is, if you think anything is wrong, don't try and do anything about it.
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm getting the same vibes here coming from this school, dude. This girl tried to speak out about a genuine situation where she honestly really did need to speak out. Like, she had to let her school know what was going on and let them know that the teacher was doing all this stuff to the students, but hey, now they're basically sending a message to the kids to just not speak out because it's against the law, apparently. Dear future me, when you have kids in like, I don't know, dude, like 15, 20 years. Honestly, probably never since Roblox Girlfriend 12 broke my heart, but I mean, hey, a man can dream. No, but if I ever have kids in the future, I'm not letting them go to this school, dude, because all that I learned here is that the teachers are trying to beat all the kids' asses, and nothing is going to get done about it if that were to happen.
Now, Faulkner says she's also worried because she says her daughter is suspended during the day. She says kids at her school are prepping for the Florida Standards Assessment. We did reach out to the school district for a comment, but they say they have no comment right now as there is an open investigation. Reporting live, Megan McRoberts, WPTV News, Channel 5.
And just like that, the video is coming to a close, and I'm pretty sad, dude. I think I'm gonna cry, actually. That was my favorite video ever. No, but on a serious note, man, I really gotta say, there's so many questions left after watching that video. My main question is honestly going to have to be, what happened to the teacher afterwards? Because if she seriously faced no repercussions for anything that happened, nothing happened to her in return, she didn't get in any sort of legal trouble, she didn't get in any, like, trouble with the cops, not even with the school, dude, no punishments for her, then, I'm gonna be pretty annoyed. I'm probably gonna be pretty pissed off. Because these kids honestly deserve justice, dude. There's no reason for these kids to have to be afraid of their teacher. She shouldn't be allowed to threaten to fight them. If that would have been a male teacher bullying a female student, dude, then I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. Double standards are crazy. That guy would have been screwed. But the way that I look at it, when it comes to bullying children, whether you're a male, female, triceratops, I don't know, dude, you deserve some sort of repercussions. You can't try to fight a 5th grader and just go on with your life. You shouldn't be able to walk afterwards. I don't care how toxic this 5th grader is, dude, just let them breathe. And to this whack-ass school district, just, shame on you, honestly. This is most likely gonna go on this little girl's permanent record for, recording a teacher and breaking the law at 11 years old, even though she was trying to do nothing wrong, even though she was trying to just break up anything bad from happening, enough proof to show to the other teachers that this teacher was abusing her power and scaring children. My heart goes out to that little girl and her family, and I hope that things get better for them inside of the future, and hope that they get the justice that they deserve. Same for that little annoying kid who probably was pissing off the teacher that day. I even hope that that kid gets his justice, because no kid should have to get into verbal fights with the teacher and have to worry about getting physically assaulted, especially when you're 10 or 11 years old. Teachers should just be able to go to school, go home, eat your animal crackers, have a great ass time. Anyways, guys, before the video comes to a close, I'd like to firstly say thanks so much for all the support recently. Yesterday's video got over 20,000 likes, dude. That's actually crazy. In the first few minutes, we already hit 1,000 likes on that video. I don't want to set a like goal here, and I'm not going to expect for anything to happen because, can't expect to get likes and support. I just want to say thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm still going to be daily uploading for the rest of this entire month. And I mean, hey, maybe even later if this ends up going well and you guys end up enjoying the videos. If you guys have been around for these last few videos, then you know what time it is, boys. For the last few minutes of the video, we're going to tell a little story time related to the video, okay? Today I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit of a story related to school, okay? This story took place inside of the 7th grade when there was a kid who actually tried to fight a guy over his Pokemon cards, okay? It was a pretty crazy, intense brawl story, okay? You guys are going to be freaking out over this one, David. Okay, so this story took place around 3 years ago inside of the 7th grade, alright? It was physical science. We were all wilding out inside of that class, dude. This was around the time where, like, Pokemon was blowing up around my school because we were all in middle school. That stuff wasn't that cringy back then because, we were still kids. So, there's a kid in there who loved his Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I mean, we weren't really all into that stuff. I mean, I think that, like, at the most, people kind of liked, like, the DS or whatever back then. I think that was popular or whatever, and basically, there's this kid who was just way too into this stuff, okay? This kid was the type of kid to do, like, the Naruto runs to lunch or whatever. Tried to go Super Saiyan right inside of the middle of class. Things were pretty insane. I'm gonna give this kid a fake name. I'm just gonna call him Ash, because I feel like it's a fitting name, Ash from Pokemon, dude. So basically, this kid, right? Little Ash Ketchum was around 12 years old, 13 years old. It was 7th grade, and this kid was notorious for bringing his 3DS to school every single day. He would bring out his little 3DS XL inside of class every single day, play a little bit of games, play a little bit of Pokemon X and Y, the usual. When one day he's playing it in class during a teacher's instruction, and the teacher gets pretty mad at little Ash Ketchum. She says to him, "Ash Ketchum, what are you doing with your 3DS out in class during my instruction?" And little Ash Ketchum, the savage, the absolute low gangster, the absolute madman himself, says back to her, "I'm playing with my Pokemon." And she basically looks at him, looks really angry, winds up her fist, and no, I'm actually kidding. Basically, she looks at him, she goes out to him, walks over calmly, picks up his 3DS and says, "You'll get this back after class. I'm just trying to, teach right now." This is where this kid starts to let out a massive This kid screams in front of the entire classroom, goes like mini Super Saiyan or something. His hair turns gold, stands up. This kid does an instant transformation, Kamehameha. No, dude, this kid just like started screaming or whatever. Guess he really didn't want to have his 3DS taken from him, and he was just really angry. The teacher just kind of scoffed and was like, okay, this kid's weird. Probably rolled her eyes and then just went back to teaching. A little bit later on the side of the class towards the end, she gave him back his 3DS because the bell was going to ring in a few minutes or whatever. We're all just chilling in there, and then when the bell rings, this kid gets up, bolts to the door, holds himself up against the door, and screams out, "Nobody is effing leaving until I get back my Pokemon cards." We all just kind of look at him, and we're just like, dude, what's your problem? Like, we all think that he's joking around, because, I mean, come on. Who blurts that out in the middle of class, dude? So this guy blurts out about his Pokemon cards in the middle of class, and everybody just kind of, like, looks at him, and they're just like, bro, let us go. This kid deadass puts a chair up against the door handle, trying to barricade us inside of the room, and screams out once again, "I'm not leaving. Nobody's leaving until one of you gives me back my effing Pokemon cards. I know that you guys stole them from me." And obviously, nobody was taking this kid seriously whatsoever. Who steals Pokemon cards first off? Because, I mean, by the time that we were all like 12 or 13, that stuff ended up not being that cool anymore. It was just kind of becoming a little bit nerdy, a little bit cringy, okay? But this kid's like screaming, alright? He's about to go Super Saiyan times 15, dude. This guy was about to beat me up, chew me up, and spit me out. No, but basically, this kid was just wilding out in front of the entire class period, all angry. And to make a long story short, basically, the kid ends up seeing his hand and noticing, hey, he has a stack of Pokemon cards inside of his hand. So he says, "Hey, Ash, look inside of your hand." And then he notices, oh, that's where my stack of Pokemon cards is. Kid had them inside of his hand literally the entire time, thought that he misplaced them or somebody took them. Kid had a full-on meltdown in front of the class trying to shut everything down. And he had the cards the entire time, dude. I cannot make this up. So this kid ended up looking really ridiculous and ended up getting in-school suspension for around maybe 3 days. And yeah, safe to say that this kid ended up staying crazy. Kid went to high school. It's basically the same guy. And I haven't seen him since like freshman year. The moral of that story is don't let Pokemon consume your life. Don't let anything consume your life other than Cyrus videos. No, but I hope that you guys ended up enjoying that little weird story. If you guys made it to the very end of this entire commentary video, you made it past that little story, then be sure to comment saying, "I'm playing with my Pokemon." If you guys comment that, then you'll be pretty cool, dude. Anyways, I hope that you guys ended up enjoying this video, and be sure to leave a like for a small loan of $1 million. Anyways, thank you guys so much for all your recent support. It's greatly appreciated, more than you will ever know. And I love you all. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.